Okay, so let's get into it. Today we're doing a deep dive on a really tragic story that got a lot of attention in India. It's the murder of a young trainee doctor. Happened at a medical college in Kolkata. Our mission here is basically to unpack what happened, the known facts, how the investigation unfolded, and also the huge public reaction, the demand for justice and for, frankly, better safety. And we're basing this conversation on a pretty detailed report about it all. The Kolkata Medical College murder, a demand for justice. It lays out the key points. So let's start with the incident itself. We're talking about a 31-year-old trainee doctor. She was at the RG Carr Medical College and Hospital, and she spent the night in the seminar hall. Apparently, she felt it was, well, a safe enough spot to rest. There wasn't really anywhere else, like dedicated space was lacking. But the next morning, she was found there, her body, semi-nude.
Yeah, and the details that came out from the investigation were just awful. The preliminary autopsy reports, they indicated she was sexually assaulted before she was murdered.
Horrific.
Absolutely. And the full autopsy, it showed multiple injuries, things like broken bones, bleeding from different parts of her body, consistent with a really violent death.
Just brutal. It really highlights a vulnerability, doesn't it? Even in a place like a hospital.
It does. A place you'd assume is secure.
So after these initial findings, the police, they did make an arrest relatively quickly.
That's right. They arrested a 33-year-old man, Sanjoy Roy. He was identified as a civic volunteer.
Okay, a civic volunteer. And what led them to him? Was there specific evidence?
There was. It came down to one key piece of evidence found right there at the scene, a torn Bluetooth earphone.
An earphone. That's what broke the case open initially.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's those small details. That piece of evidence apparently linked directly back to him.
And a civic volunteer, just for context, that's someone who sort of helps out police or authorities,
Yeah.
right? Like with crowd control.
Exactly. So his presence there in the medical college seminar hall, that itself would raise questions, you'd think.
Right. And then the public reaction. This is where things really seem to escalate. It sparked huge protests.
Oh, absolutely. It wasn't just a small thing. It became a nationwide outcry.
And who was really driving that?
It was the junior doctors across the country, really.
Her colleagues, essentially.
Yeah.
And what were they demanding? Justice for her, or was it broader?
It was both. Justice for the victim, definitely. But also, crucially, they were demanding better safety measures for healthcare workers, for themselves.
That makes sense. They felt unsafe.
Exactly. And their protests had a massive impact. You see, the Indian Medical Association, the IMA, they got involved.
The main doctor's body.
Right. And they launched a nationwide strike.
Wow. A strike. That must have caused huge disruption.
It did. Medical services were severely affected across India. It really showed the power of their collective voice and underlined just how serious these safety concerns were. It wasn't just about this one tragic event anymore.
So with all that pressure, the protests, the strike,
Yeah.
and maybe, like you said, some questions about the local police work.
Well, yeah, there were definitely concerns being raised about the progress of the local investigation.
Okay, so because of that, the case got transferred.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was moved to the Central Bureau of Investigation, the CBI.
The CBI, that's India's main federal agency, right? That's a pretty big step.
It's a very big step. It usually happens with high-profile cases or when there's a need for, let's say, more resources or a perception of impartiality is needed. It signals the gravity.
And what has the CBI been doing since they took over?
Well, the reports indicate they've been quite active. They've been questioning various people, doctors, other medical staff, anyone who might have seen something or know something relevant, really digging into the details.
Okay, so the investigation continues at a higher level.
Right. But stepping back, if we connect this to the bigger picture, this incident, it really struck a nerve far beyond just the medical community.
How so?
Well, it's raised these huge concerns about safety, particularly for women, and not just anywhere, but in places like medical colleges, universities, workplaces, places traditionally thought of as, safe.
Yeah, supposed safe havens, it makes you think.
Exactly. It forces a conversation about what safety actually means in these environments.
And it feels like this case has become a catalyst then for a much wider demand for action to prevent something like this from happening again.
Definitely. It's moved beyond just this one case, sadly. It's highlighted a need for systemic changes.
So to kind of recap where we've gotten to in this deep dive, we've looked at the awful incident itself, the murder of the trainee doctor in Kolkata. We talked about the initial investigation, the grim findings, the arrest based on that earphone. Then the huge wave of protests, especially from junior doctors and the